Moments in history are so unsettling, so tragic, or just plain horrifying that they stick in our minds long after we first hear them. These aren't the events they teach you in school. These are the forgotten, the chilling, and the downright disturbing stories that truly reveal the dark side of humanity. From bizarre wars to horrifying medical practices and disasters that still haunt survivors today, here are 30 disturbing historical events too dark to ignore. The Great Stink of London, 1858. London's sewage system was so outdated that raw waste poured into the Thames. The smell became unbearable, halting Parliament sessions. Only then was the modern sewage system finally built. The London Plague Pits. During 16 outbreaks of the plague from the 1300s to 1600s, thousands died. The dead were thrown into mass graves beneath what are now parks, streets, and even underground stations. The Unbuilt Pyramid of the Dead. In 1829, Thomas Wilson proposed building a 94-story pyramid in London to store up to 5 million corpses due to overcrowded cemeteries. It was thankfully never constructed. Genghis Khan's carbon footprint. Genghis Khan's brutal conquests led to the deaths of 40 million people, enough to lower global carbon emissions. One of history's most violent rulers inadvertently helped the environment. Premature burials. Before modern medicine, misdiagnoses led to people being buried alive. Safety coffins with bells were invented so the dead could signal they were still alive. The Champawat tiger between 1897 and 1907. A tigress killed over 400 people in India and Nepal. She was eventually shot by famed hunter Jim Corbett. The Titanic and the Titan. A novel written in 1898 eerily predicted the Titanic disaster. It featured an unsinkable ship named Titan that hit an iceberg and sank. It was fiction, until it wasn't. Victorian death photography. Victorians often posed with dead relatives for one last photo. Some even propped them up to appear alive. It was a common mourning practice. Surgery on infants without anesthesia. Until the 1980s, doctors believed babies didn't feel pain, so surgeries were performed without anesthesia. This changed after studies proved infants do feel pain intensely. The baby farmers of Victorian England unwed mothers would pay baby farmers to care for their children. Many babies died due to neglect or worse. Amelia Dyer was a notorious killer who murdered hundreds. The Dyatlov Pass incident, 1959. 9 hikers in Soviet Russia died under mysterious circumstances. Their bodies found half naked with injuries suggesting extreme trauma and radiation exposure. Theories range from avalanches to secret weapons tests. Animal space testing. Before human spaceflight, animals like Laika the dog were sent to space. Most never returned. The cruelty was overlooked in the name of progress. Hiroshima's aftermath. Survivors of the atomic bomb faced a living nightmare. Radiation burns, missing family, and an obliterated city. Many died from long-term effects, and survivors were stigmatized. Sniper Alley, Sarajevo, 90s. During the Bosnian War, snipers targeted civilians walking down Sarajevo's main street. Residents had to sprint between buildings, and children were not spared. The Jersey Shore shark attacks, 1916. 4 people were killed by a shark in just 12 days. These attacks inspired the novel Jaws, which later became Spielberg's blockbuster film. The Black Hole of Calcutta, 1756. British prisoners were crammed into a small prison cell in India. 120 men in a space meant for a handful. By morning, only 23 had survived. The Emu War, 1932. Australia declared war on emus after they ravaged crops. Armed soldiers couldn't outmaneuver the birds, and the emus won. A real government defeat by birds. The exploding whale of Oregon, 1970. A dead whale washed ashore. Officials decided to blow it up with dynamite. The blast sent rotting whale flesh flying across the town. Cars were damaged. The Boston molasses disaster, 1919. A storage tank exploded. releasing 2.3 million gallons of molasses. A 25-foot wave flooded Boston, killing 21 and injuring 150. Sticky, slow, and deadly. Operation Paul Bunyan, 1976. After North Korean soldiers killed 2 U.S. officers with an axe over a tree dispute, the U.S. responded with a massive military display to cut down the tree. Tensions nearly triggered war. The Year Without a Summer, 1816. Mount Tambora's eruption caused climate chaos. Snow fell in June, crops failed globally, and widespread famine followed, all from a single volcanic explosion. The Crocodile Massacre at Ramrey Island, 1945. Japanese soldiers retreated into a swamp filled with saltwater crocodiles. Up to 1,000 were reportedly eaten alive overnight. Roman urine mouthwash. Ancient Romans used urine as mouthwash. The ammonia acted as a cleaning agent. Worse still, they often collected it from public latrines. Unit 731 Human Experiments, 1930s to 40s. Japanese scientists conducted live human experiments on Chinese civilians and POWs. Victims were dissected alive and infected with diseases in the name of science. Dancing Plague of 1518. Hundreds in Strasbourg danced uncontrollably for days. Many collapsed or died from exhaustion. The cause remains unknown. The Rwandan Genocide, 1994. Over 800,000 people were killed in 100 days. Neighbors turned on each other in one of the most horrifying ethnic cleansings of the 20th century. The Khmer Rouge regime, 1975 to 1979, Cambodia's Pol Pot sought to eliminate education and modern society. Millions died from execution, starvation, or overwork. Even wearing glasses made you a target. The Great Chinese Famine, 1959 to 1961. Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward policies backfired, causing famine that killed an estimated 30 million people. Cannibalism was reported in some areas. The Bhopal gas tragedy, 1984. A gas leak at a pesticide plant in India killed 15,000 people and injured over 500,000. It remains one of the worst industrial disasters ever. The Holodomor, 1932 to 1933. Stalin's policies in Ukraine led to mass starvation. Millions died in what many recognize as a man-made genocide orchestrated by the Soviet regime.